a mother's worst nightmare, an intruder, a brutal attack, 2 little boys dead, a grieving mother slashed and bleeding. The case seemed open and shut, but nothing was as it seemed, because 8 days later, the world saw a celebration at a cemetery, a smile that sickened a nation. Was it the act of a grieving mother or a cold-blooded killer? Welcome. The story of Darlie Routier is one of the most divisive true crime cases in American history. The murders of Devon and Damon Routier. Their mother, Darlie, was convicted and sentenced to die. But decades later, crucial questions remain. Was justice served? Or was a tragic mother wrongfully condemned? To understand, we have to go back to that bloody crime scene. When police arrived at 5801 Eagle Drive in Rowlett, Texas, on June 6, 1996, they found 5-year-old Damon dying. His 6-year-old brother Devon was already gone. Darlie Routier had severe slash wounds on her neck and arm. Her story was clear. A lone intruder had done this. But almost immediately, detectives felt something was off. The evidence against Darlie seemed compelling. The cut window screen in the garage suggested forced entry, but police found an undisturbed layer of dust on the windowsill. No one had climbed through, and forensics found a match. The fiberglass shreds on the screen matched those on a bread knife from the Routier's own kitchen block. Then there was the sock. 75 yards down an alley, police found a single bloody sock. DNA tests confirmed it contained the blood of both boys, but no blood from Darlie. If an intruder dropped it while fleeing, why was there no trail? Inside, a wallet, jewelry, expensive electronics, all left untouched. The motive wasn't robbery, and the murder weapon was a knife from the Routier's own kitchen. An intruder would have had to enter the home, find a specific knife, attack, and then leave it behind. For the jury, the most damning evidence was scientific. Prosecution experts testified that blood spatter on the back of Darlie's nightshirt was a cast-off stain, a pattern consistent with her raising the knife above her head and bringing it down on her sons with force. But in the court of public opinion, the case was sealed 8 days after the murders. This footage of Darlie spraying silly string at her son's gravesite was played on a loop. It was edited. It didn't show the hour of crying and prayer that came before. But the image was indelible. A partying mother, not a grieving one. The prosecution argued Darlie was a self-centered woman, cold enough to murder her own children. The motive? She felt trapped by motherhood and financial pressures. But the defense shot back. The children's life insurance was only $10,000, hardly a fortune. And if it was money, why not kill her husband, who had a policy worth $800,000? The jury believed the prosecution. On February 4, 1997, Darlie Routier was found guilty of murdering Damon and sentenced to death by lethal injection. But the story doesn't end with a verdict. In fact, that's where the real mystery begins. Because over the years, massive doubts about this conviction have emerged. A bloody fingerprint was found on the coffee table. It has never been identified. It does not match Darlie, Darren, or anyone else in the household. Who did it belong to? Darlie's neck wound was deep and precise. A medical expert stated it came within 2 millimeters of her carotid artery. Self-inflicted wounds are typically hesitant and shallow. Is it plausible a mother would inflict such a potentially fatal wound on herself? Then there's the timeline. Medical testimony stated Damon would have lived only 8 to 9 minutes after his injuries. The 911 call was nearly 6 minutes long. Police arrived within 3 minutes of the call ending. This left a window of maybe 2 to 3 minutes for Darlie to have stabbed both boys, staged the scene, wounded herself, and run 75 yards to plant the sock. Was it even physically possible? And what about other suspects? Around the same time, a serial rapist was terrorizing the Dallas area. His M.O.? Entering unlocked homes, using kitchen knives from the victims' houses, and wearing tube socks over his hands to avoid prints. An eerie coincidence? Today, Darlie Routier remains on death row. But hope, for her supporters, lies in modern science. Advanced DNA testing has been ordered on the bloody sock, the unidentified fingerprint, and other evidence. The results could finally provide a definitive answer. So, who killed Devon and Damon Routier? The official record says their mother did. But the evidence is a tangled web of contradictions. A staged scene or a bungled investigation. A calculated killer or a victim of tragic circumstance? The haunting truth is that until that DNA speaks, the mystery of what happened in that house on Eagle Drive remains unsolved. The case is closed, but the questions are very much alive. Do you think Darlie Routier is guilty? Comment below and subscribe for more.